Howdy, Bud. John, coming to Ennis, Texas, April 8th, 2018. This is part four. I presume you've seen the first three parts. I want to say a big thank you for bearing with me and hanging with me and going with me this far. I remind I took a course about marketing funnel, and there's a wide end, the narrowing end, the very narrow end. And some people want just the bit what's available to a lot of people, and then you kind of graduate, you come more and more towards and so you're kind of at the thinner end of the funnel in terms of interest in me and what's going on in my world. And what I've known over the years is that most people just want the highlights. They just want to know, you know, uh, how's your health in a tweet, or what's going on with this, that. They're like the short one paragraph at the most. Some will go with a page or two, some three. But I can write 8, 10, 12 pages. So, and those are all my heart and all my soul and all the interest. And very few people read all of that, but there are few. They're not none, they're few. And same thing with videos. There'll be a few that would come this far. And I'm just glad that you're there, and I'm here with you, and you're here with me, and here we go. Um, Water thingy back here. I keep it back behind me because a month ago I spilt water on my Chromebook and it destroyed it. So it's water. I ain't gonna have that again. Um, so I'm gonna do what I thought I was gonna do last time. I'm gonna go to the list. Go to the list. So it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna look at this, and you can see me. I can't see you. Of course, I can't see you anyway. But that's a whole different issue. Okay, so I have been knowing for a couple of years that at some day, in some way, I'm finally gonna go online and basically burst online. And I said before about the pigs and piglets. I mean, there's going to be multiple things that will be birthed from me, birthed in the coming days, weeks, and months. Um, and here are some of them. I'll mention them briefly. And this is what I call, in my thinking, in my mind, I call this my Cambrian explosion. If you study um, whatever evolution, world history, planet history, uh, according to their theory of evolution, bless them, for like four, if you look, and some people put on a graphic, whether you like a clock that goes around, and so they come to like the 11th hour, and that's when up until for a lot of that time it just had jellyfish or like one and two cell animals, and when it came an explosion, there was suddenly all this life happened, and there wasn't this gradual slow evolution through many millions and billions of years. It was just suddenly you had the mollusks and you had these plants and these sea creatures. Just, there they were, and so that's when it happened. It's it's sort of like Cambrian explosion, but and that's just how it is. And many of these things have been in me and incubating and gestating for a long time. Um, and part of it is my own perfectionism, mentioned before, procrastination, researching more, my own, and I'll get into more later, my fear of rejection. I fear that I would do this and nobody will respond and like it, and it'll just have been a waste. And so I try to prepare more. I'm usually distracted to other things I like. I like a lot of different things. So I get, ooh, ooh. So I keep going down all these different avenues. And eventually I want to get them all online. It's not this or that. And so people say, oh, just pick one. Well, I picked one before many times over the years, and it never really took off or went anywhere. Oh, well. And they say online, some of them say, pick one and just put all your eggs in that basket and go with that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh, well, you'll find out. Some say pick a few baskets and see which one you like and goes, and then stick with that. Okay. Um, and and the beauty of the internet is that all the things I mentioned here, and many, many more things I'm not going to mention here because there's many, many more parts. They'll come later. Because it's digital, it's not like a brick and mortar bakery where you've got to pay the electric bill and you have to have the employees and you have to pay the taxes and you have to keep everything going to keep selling donuts and muffins and pies. Once you put out, I've just many times before, put out articles or vlogs or videos or teachings, it's just there. In fact, you could die the next year and it'll still be there as long as you configure it so that the rent is paid. You put on free sites like Facebook or YouTube, or there's other free websites. It'll be there forever. And I've got lots of stuff that I made years and years, years ago, I hardly even touched, but it's still there. So it's not like, I've lost some things because I didn't keep paying the rent of the website. I had some things on rented websites that I failed to keep up with and they got lost. So I'm just saying that that's a weird world to navigate. And most people I'm talking to, the vast majority of people I'm talking to, have no clue about this. They don't even have a blog, BLOG, or a VLOG, video blog, or hardly any of them have websites. They've never done podcasting. They're not the people that I know. I'm talking about today. I don't know people in this world that would, oh, I get it. Oh, sure, I know. Yeah, right, fine. That's not my current contact base. And that's been painful and aggravating to try to be doing something because you want to see in a community. My brother went to has been involved in internet marketing, those kind of things for a great many years. He went to a multi-day thing in Florida from St. Louis, and he got around people like-minded that were doing what he's doing. And it was such different to talk to like-minded people about these things. So eventually I will be among those people that are into the internet in a missions way. And we will do our own little thing over here in this little, and we can create little pockets where just we are. It's like a walled community, like a walled garden, where just we can get in and we can permission to get in. And we share it. And it's like a private Facebook group is one way to do it. There's numerous other ways to do it. So I will wind up with in the coming months several of these. Not sure how many, but I'll start a bunch. We'll see what takes off and what doesn't. I'm going to mention here in a minute. And some will continue without me, and some I'll have a little interaction, a lot of interaction. So it's kind of like, let's see, the other image is kind of like a good old John chapter 15, the vine dresser. Yeah, 10 is the shepherd, like 15 is the vine dresser. So you see a vine, and so even a tree or a bush, or particularly like a rose bush, they like all these shoots coming off every which way. Oh, looky over there. Oh, looky. Oh, but then later you got to cut it back for there to be more growth. Some work, some don't. These like all these little shoots. Okay. And some will do really, really well and some won't. And I don't know which. If I did, I wouldn't go the other ways. So transition. See, that's the other thing now. Because this is so raw, I'm getting kind of into the groove here, but in a more professional, polished e-course way, I would think through an outline. I would insert transition. So, okay, we'll finish that little segment. Now we're going to kind of go this other segment, but here's a little transitional something. I get that, and I'm going to do that. But in these messages, not so. I'll just, if I necessary, I'll just say the word transition, which just means that. It just means I'm changing the subject. Okay. One thing that I'm going to do, so I'm going to kind of break this out into chunks. And so one chunk of what's coming up soon is accountability. I has gone as far as fast as I can alone over these great many years. I have desired and sought and prayed for accountability and mentors and had none. Nobody's asked me to be a mentor or an accountability partner, which is telling some about the health of the Christian community. And I don't, it's not like I'm been ostracized. I don't see it happening in the way that happens in the entrepreneurial world, in the business world, in the recovery 12-step world. There's serious accountability, sponsorship, mentorship. I don't see in the Christian world, which is, I think, is wrong. And so I'm going to go find and adapt those things in those worlds. Mastermind groups is one thing they call it, accountability groups. Um, and rework it, reinvent it, hybrid. One of the things that my life and world will be, the one words I'll use over and over and over again in the future is hybrid. Almost every single plant and animal that you find at the grocery store or in the pet store or maybe not the zoo so much, is a hybrid. They made the zoo, they're out there and giraffes get with giraffes, and they didn't bring in a different strain of animal to make it taller, shorter, faster, whatever. But in terms of tomatoes or apples or beef, there's a hybriding, and many of the hybrids didn't work. Probably most of them didn't work, but a few did. That's why we get those particular kinds of apples or bananas or peaches or pears or whatever, right? So there's a hybridness to it. So I'm going to go find those things that work in the business world, or recovery world, and bring it into this world, and layer and level and insert and integrate biblical principles and scriptures. And in a lot of ways, that is what, and that's what Celebrate Recovery has done, is brought the Bible into 12-step work brilliantly. And I'm gonna point to them. I'm gonna use them, but also I'm gonna do so that, like they have done a hybrid. I'm gonna do hybrids, plural, and one of them is what's in my files, my heart, my mind. It's a thing that I call first 5 steps. And in the 12-step program, there's 12 steps. Obviously, wow. The first is we were powerless over alcohol, our lives become unmanageable. So if alcohol, you could say drugs or promiscuity or overeating, or you could say I am powerless over X and my life has become unmanageable. And then it says, came to believe the power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity or sobriety or serenity or solvency. So the power great. So hey, I am toast. I'm cooked. This is getting me. This is wearing me out. For me, it's perfectionism, procrastination, and workaholism. It's killing me, and I'm powerless over it. It's my life is and so then you come to believe there's a power greater than yourself. So I can't do it, or I would have done it. There's a power greater. I believe so. So having this faith in this, and for them, it's a power, and that's what they call a higher power. And then made a decision for my will, my life, over the care of God as I understood God. So you turn your will, your life over the care of that God. That's huge. And as I go to 12-step programs, and I was a house manager, a sober house for 2 years, and 3 years I was a homeless shelter. I've seen people that, so they will stop along the way. This is a 12, like the funnel, and a lot of them are just in denial, but they come to meetings anyway for fellowship or for comfort or for whatever. But each one has fewer and fewer people. And you go to 4-step, let's take the fearless and more. We took a fearless more inventory of ourselves. So you start to look at your stuff and you write it down. And then 5th step, you said, we meant to God ourselves and another human being the exact nature of our wrong. So you go tell somebody. So I want to configure a way online so that people can do the first 5 steps. And then the next is became entirely ready to have God remove these shortcomings, prayed humbly for God to take them away, made a list of people that we had harmed, and then went and make amends, and then continue to take personal inventory, went wrong, probably admitted, and then through prayer and meditation, continue improve our conscious contact with God, asking only for the knowledge of the will and the power to carry it out. And then 12 is, have a spiritual awakening. Result of these steps, we took this message to others, and practice the principles in all of our affairs. So, but if I could get people to 5, then those are the roughest ones. 6, 7, that's private ones, and there's momentum with you, and so, but I'm not, and so I'm going to. What I don't necessarily want to be around is a bunch of drunks. I've been around drunks, around drug addicts, God bless them, and I've been in those worlds back in the 70s. There's people in the church world that issues with um, eating disorders or pornography or workaholism or anger issues or those kinds of things. So how can we? Oh gosh, is it really 15 minutes? That's too crazy. So how can we? And so I'm going to link to the Alcoholics Anonymous and Debtors Anonymous and Drug Addicts Anonymous and Cocaine Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and Codependence Anonymous, plenty of codependency in the church, in the body of Christ. Workaholics Anonymous, Adult Children Alcoholics, all those say, go look at these, and whatever you resonate with, then come here and admit, I'm powerless over this. And tell us about your journey about turning your life over to Jesus Christ. And then take your inventory and then find a way to share that inventory. So you do this, we're going to do this together some kind of way for first 5 steps. There's many more things to say. I'm going to stop right there, okay? And I will say, Shalom.